Welcome back to MythStory and Legends, and today we're diving into one of the most touching and heart-wrenching tales from Greek mythology, the story of Orpheus and Eurydice. It's a tale of profound love, devastating loss, and a journey to the depths of the underworld. Our story begins in the verdant fields and rolling hills of Thrace, where Orpheus, the son of the sun god Apollo, and the muse of epic poetry, Calliope, lived. Orpheus was no ordinary mortal. Blessed with divine heritage, he was gifted with a musical talent so extraordinary that his melodies could charm anyone who heard them. With his golden lyre, a gift from his father Apollo, Orpheus played music that could tame wild beasts, make trees sway to his rhythm, and even cause rivers to halt their flow to listen. Such was the power of his music. His songs could calm the most savage creatures and bring joy to the saddest hearts. People from far and wide would gather to hear Orpheus play, mesmerized by the beauty and emotion of his melodies. But despite all his admirers, the heart of Orpheus belonged to a beautiful nymph named Eurydice. Eurydice was a vision of grace and beauty, her spirit as gentle and pure as the morning dew. The love between Orpheus and Eurydice was a union of perfect harmony, their hearts beating as one. They spent their days in joy, wandering through meadows and forests, their love like a beautiful song that played endlessly in the gardens of Thrace. Their laughter filled the air, and their happiness was a light that shone brightly for all to see. However, as fate would have it, their happiness was destined to be fleeting. One fateful day, as Eurydice wandered through a meadow, she was pursued by Aristaeus, a shepherd who was captivated by her beauty. In her attempt to escape his unwanted advances, Eurydice ran through the tall grass, her heart pounding with fear. In her desperate flight, she stepped on a venomous snake hidden in the grass. The snake struck with deadly precision, its bite swift and venomous. Eurydice fell to the ground, her life slipping away like a whisper carried off by the wind. When Orpheus found her, it was too late. Eurydice's lifeless body lay still, her radiant beauty marred by the cruel hand of fate. Orpheus was inconsolable. His sorrow knew no bounds as he cradled Eurydice's lifeless body. The light in his life had been extinguished, leaving him in a darkness that even his music could not dispel. His music, once a source of joy and wonder, now echoed with the pain of his loss. The melodies that once brought happiness now became a lament of sorrow, filled with the anguish of a broken heart. Unable to accept her death, Orpheus made a daring decision that no mortal had ever made before. He would descend into the underworld to bring back his beloved Eurydice. Fueled by love and despair, Orpheus's resolve was unbreakable. He believed that if his music could move the hearts of the living, it might also reach the hearts of the gods. And so, with his lyre in hand, Orpheus set out on a journey to the land of the dead, determined to reclaim the love he had lost. The path to the underworld was fraught with danger and shadow. Orpheus ventured into the dark and foreboding realm of Hades and Persephone, the rulers of the dead. The journey was perilous, filled with spirits and eerie whispers. The air was thick with the presence of lost souls, and the shadows seemed to close in around him. But Orpheus was undeterred. He played his lyre as he walked, his music a beacon of light in the darkness. The haunting beauty of his melodies charmed the fierce guardians of the underworld, including Cerberus, the three-headed dog who guarded the gates. Even the Furies, relentless spirits of vengeance, were soothed by his music and allowed him to pass. When Orpheus finally stood before Hades and Persephone, he played a melody so sorrowful and pure that it moved the hearts of the gods. His music spoke of love lost and the unbearable pain of separation. Every note was filled with longing and hope, a plea for mercy that could not be ignored. Hades, the stern and implacable ruler of the underworld, was touched by Orpheus's unwavering love and devotion. Persephone, the compassionate queen, was moved to tears. She pleaded with her husband to grant Orpheus's plea, to allow love to triumph over death. Hades, with a rare show of mercy, agreed to release Eurydice on one condition. Orpheus must not look back at her until they had both reached the surface. The condition was clear, yet it would test the strength of Orpheus's faith and resolve. With hope rekindled in his heart, Orpheus began the arduous journey back to the world of the living, with Eurydice following closely behind. He could hear her footsteps, soft and hesitant, echoing through the dark tunnels. The path was long and fraught with uncertainty. The air grew warmer as they ascended, and the light of the living world began to seep through the darkness. But with each step, doubt began to gnaw at Orpheus. He could hear Eurydice's footsteps, but the weight of the condition bore heavily on his mind. He wondered if the gods had deceived him, if Eurydice was truly behind him. A silence between them grew louder, filled with the tension of unspoken fears. As they neared the exit, the light of the living world grew brighter, casting long shadows in the cavern. The tension in Orpheus's heart was unbearable. He could feel the warmth of the sun on his face, but the uncertainty of Eurydice's presence tormented him. Just steps away from the surface, the threshold to life and light, he could no longer contain his doubt and fear. In a moment of weakness, driven by love and desperation, he turned to look back. To his horror, Orpheus saw Eurydice behind him, her eyes filled with love and longing. She reached out to him, their fingers almost touching. But in that tragic instant, her form began to fade, pulled back into the shadows of the underworld. Her final words were a whisper, carried away by the winds of fate. Orpheus reached out in vain, but it was too late. Eurydice was gone, lost to him forever. The promise of their reunion shattered in a moment of doubt. Heartbroken and alone, Orpheus wandered the earth, his music now a lament of unending sorrow. His melodies, once a source of wonder, became a testament to his eternal grief. His lyre sang of love and loss, its strings echoing the pain of his broken heart. He played for the trees, the rivers, and the stars, his songs a haunting reminder of what he had lost. The world seemed a darker place without Eurydice, her absence a void that could never be filled. In his grief, Orpheus spurned the company of others, seeking solace only in his music. The Maenads, wild followers of Dionysus, were angered by his rejection and attacked him in a frenzied rage. Orpheus met a tragic end, his body torn apart, his lyre silenced forever. Yet, in death, he found peace. His soul was reunited with Eurydice in the Elysian fields, the paradise of the blessed. Together, they wandered the meadows of the afterlife, their love enduring beyond the mortal realm. Thank you for joining us on this emotional journey through the tragic tale of Orpheus and Eurydice. Their story reminds us of the power of love, the pain of loss, and the enduring hope that even in the darkest times, love can light the way. If you enjoyed this tale, please like, subscribe, and hit the bell icon to stay updated on more stories from MythStory and Legends. Until next time, may the music of Orpheus remind us all of the enduring power of love.